Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to go through the unit Lachesis. She was probably, when we started out this journey through OMNIHEROES, probably one of my favourite units within the game, and the reason for that is because of her ultimate ability, and we'll go through that in just a sec. But first of all, let's go and explore her synergies. So the first synergy we're going to go through is the Avengers synergy. If you have 5 Avengers, it grants the allied team a 100% chance to be revived one time per battle, restoring 60% of max HP, increasing damage boost of revived ally units by 250% for 3 rounds. So the more you die, the more damage you're going to do. It's a very powerful ability, and a very good team as well, if you have built it correctly. Now, next is the Royals faction synergy. So she's a Royal, and typically you'll have between 3 to 4 Royals. You won't generally have 5 Royals, but if you do, at the start of battle, allies receive shield equal to 200% of their own attack for 2 rounds, and each stack of buff an ally unit gains increases their damage boost and damage reduction by 4% up to 20 stacks. So it can be a very powerful effect if you have 5 Royals. If not, you've got the 3 Royals. At the start of battle, all allies receive shield equal to 150%, so it's a reduction of 50%. If you only have 3, and each stack of buff an ally gains increases their damage boost and damage reduction up to 2% by up to 20 stacks. So very effective, very powerful synergy, and one that is commonly seen throughout the entirety of the game. Now, Celestials is the next one. Typically you'll have between 2 and 3 of these on the team at any given time, and at the start of battle increases crit rate by 15% and attack by 50% for all allies, and when an ally unit dies, purifies all debuffs and on all allies and dispels all buffs from all enemies. That can be very powerful. It can be very, very powerful if one of your unit does die, just primarily because the debuffs really do help, and removing all buffs from all enemies. It does play in with Lachesis ability as well. Now, if you've got 5 on the team, 5 Celestials, at the start of battle increases crit rate by 15% and attack by 150% for the ally team, which is a very powerful effect. And then one ally unit dies, purifies all debuffs, and it's the same effect there. The final one would be the Enchanter synergy. It can be a very powerful synergy if you have 5 Enchanters on the team, and we'll showcase that in a little bit. When an ally unit deals damage, there's a 40% chance to confuse target. When dealing damage to a confused target, temporarily increases damage boost by 100%. Now, damage and attack are 2 separate procs, and they work very well together, damage and attack, but it is important to make the distinction. Damage is different to attack. So that's it for now for what I think on the Enchanters. I think it can be a bit of a meme team, so to speak, but it can also be very powerful if used correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Lachesis abilities here. So her ultimate, which is what she is typically known for, uses the power of Goddess to heal the ally unit with the lowest HP, providing healing equal to 300% heal rate and 5% of the target's max HP, and has a 100% base chance to dispel all buffs from all enemies. Now that is really impactful, especially when it's cast on round 2, so all of the starting buffs that the teams get. So for example, Glorians get a lot of really powerful buffs at the very start of battle, same as Valenters, same as Dooms. They get those very powerful buffs at the start of the match, and if those get dispelled, then they're sort of left in the lurch a little bit. The next ability she has, she summons Divine Light, shines on all allies, providing them with healing equal to 36% of heal rate and 5% of the target's max HP. So just another heal effect, but this time it is a team-wide heal, and can be very powerful depending on her heal rate and depending on how high the target's max HP is as well. So her first passive, she applies 4 stacks of heal rate bonus to the ally team. Not super impactful unless your team is built around healing and gaining buffs from healing. But again, it is what it is. You know, she applies the 4 stacks of heal rate to allies. It's okay. It does the job. Now, every 1% increase in Lachesis dodge additionally increases her attack by 2% as well. So if you did want her to do as much healing as possible, because your healing is based on your attack, if you want her to heal the most, then you'll use dodge runes for her. Now, my talents for Lachesis, I do have her at full legendary as well, because of the... So if we have a look here, increases dodge rate and increases cure rate by 15%. So we have a look at this. Increases dodge rate, additionally increases her attack. So she's gaining an additional 60% attack through this this particular passive. Now at season 4 we can just ignore, so after taking action there's a 100% chance to trigger the swap. We don't need to worry about that because that'll be gone after this season. And I've got Oath Force 1, which is attack +5, HP +5 and defense +5 as well. We can eventually get up to Oath Force 2, but that will be after another level up, after I get some additional copies. Now with regards to runes for Lachesis, I've gone full heal. So self-healing, so increases on heal rate when equipped by divine heroes, instantly restores 20% of own max HP every round. It's really for this ability, so restoring her own HP every round. It can be very powerful when you are taking a lot of damage quite frequently, and Lachesis is surviving as well. So that's just what I've chosen to go with. You can go with full dodge on Lachesis as well to increase her attack even more. Again, you're not looking to do damage with Lachesis at all. You're really just looking to remove those buffs. But you can go full dodge and give her that holy shield for the extra survivability as well. Again, I've chosen to go heal rate just because of that second passive here. Restores 20% of max HP every round. So let's jump into some gameplay for Lachesis. Of course, we're going to use the standard stage Dawnbringers. I'm using this stage moving forward just primarily because I don't want to complete this stage 300 yet, because it's a good place for testing, as well as the consistency of the tests that I do perform. This event does not change in any way, shape or form, and so it's good to compare units on this same stage. So moving forward I'll be using this stage to compare. So the typical setup that I would go with would be Mavis, Lachesis, Janna, Nerissa and Althea here, and then with standard relics. For these guys you can use the Blades of Chaos. It's a very powerful effect, and one that is still used very frequently today, but we're going to move that out. We're going to put in our healing, and again Hand of Tyr, of course, because there's no other relic that could possibly go in that slot. Something that the devs do need to work on, I believe. Now this is the standard setup. What you might want to try instead, if you don't have Althea, if you don't have Nerissa, you should still have a copy of Janna, because she's been available for a couple of months now in the shop, so you should have been able to pick up a copy of her. But you can go Sal and potentially Persephone, or you can go with sort of this kind of setup, where you've got Mavis on the front, because she will tend to die and come back. Sal to do the majority of the damage. Lachesis works very well with Sal as well, because she tends to heal this slot 1, and as we'll see over the course of the battle, that will be the case. So let's go ahead and use this one, because it is sort of it's not using many of the new units, or the less obtainable units. You do have Sal here, who is very obtainable and is very powerful in his own right, especially with the most recent buffs, given that yep, so we've got Spear kicking off. Given that whenever a unit dies, Sal will increase his own attack by 10%. I think that stacks quite high, higher than Janna's does as well. But we'll just show off how Lachesis works. As you can see, we do have enemies with Holy Shield and shields left. So that removes all buffs from all enemies, which is such a powerful effect, especially on this team, who don't particularly have a way of removing Holy Shield, besides potentially Mavis when she attacks. Lachesis, she just healed Sal on her ultimate, which then boosted Sal's attack and damage up, both respectively. So we're able to get that big hit. Unfortunately, Sal is down, and the Themis here able to take us out, but fortunately, Janna here able to survive. We do get a couple of Mavis triggers over the course of this, so it looks like we're able to come back through. And we'll get our spear triggering again, giving us plenty of shields to work with. And HP, Sal able to do a fair chunk of damage there as well. So as you can see, we're getting that healing from Atrox, and Sal is just consistently boosting himself up, with Lachesis playing into that, because she does heal the person with the lowest health, and if not, she defers to that slot 1 as well. So Janna doing some big damage, and Sal also doing some big damage, but unfortunately no fortitude counter on this team. So it looked like we were in dire straits, but actually the Themis trigger really did help out quite a bit. So Janna able to do the most, as you can see. Lachesis not doing any damage whatsoever, the same amount as Persephone, but she did heal us for 158 million. Not the highest that I've ever seen, but it was just enough to get us through. Now let's go ahead and try this again, but we're going to use a completely different setup for this, in that we're going to use all of our Celestials. So we're going to get a Royal / Celestial setup here. And then what we want to do is we want to go probably you, we'll go Eudora, and we'll go Karnak as well. So this is a full setup, and let's pop. Let's pop Seraphina here. The reason for that is because I've got her at full dodge runes as well. So pop you in. We do want to. What do we want to do? We'll probably go shield. This is just a random assortment. I don't suspect this is actually a very good team at all. And in fact, we'll move you, Karnak, in front of Seraphina. So we do have 3 primary damage dealers in Eudora, Catherine, and Karnak. As you can see, we've got the full 5 Celestials and full 5 Royals as well. So if one of our units were to die, we would see all of the buffs get removed, and all of our debuffs get removed as well. So we do see our shield give max HP, and additional shielding as well. Eudora trigger. And the chest is removing any buffs that the enemies may have as well. So Karnak not doing too much. Eudora, of course. So all buffs have been removed and all of our debuffs have been removed. Unfortunately, like I said, just because it's a flashy team doesn't mean it's coherent. There's not too many synergies going on here besides the Celestials and the Royals as well. And with this team, I don't suspect that we will be able to move forward or complete this mission. Yeah, so like I said, it's not super coherent team. It is what it is. It's 5 Celestials. What we can do is we can go ahead and try a different setup. So potentially removing these two and adding in Sal and adding in Atrops as well. And then we've got 4 strikers and Lachesis. We can go ahead, take out shield, and we will pop in Blades of Chaos. Now this is not a full Celestials team and a full Royals team, but it is a coherent enough team. So you've got Selene here, Atrops, Lachesis, Seraphina, and Catherine. So it should be quite a powerful team, and the reason for that is because it's a healing based team. So every time Catherine receives healing, she will increase the attack of the team, as well as the 4 strikers pumping up by 30% every round. Really powerful effect there. So it is it was one of my favourite teams previously, using this exact setup, except I didn't have spear. I used the healing vase instead of this setup. As you can see, we're going to get some crazy attack numbers with both Sal and Catherine as well. So I think Sal will be fully powered up here. Unfortunately, the only problem with Sal here is that we don't have many units that are going to die. But as you can see, 1,000 million doing a fair bit of work here as well. Holy Shield protecting us. A much more coherent team than we've seen previously, even with just 3 Royals / Celestials. We get the Spear triggering again, which will trigger our Blades of Chaos, keeping our team protected for the next couple of rounds. As you can see, Sal putting in work there. If there wasn't a miss on Persephone, it would have really done some work. So again, I love that pair of Lachesis and Sal. They just work in combination so well together, but unfortunately Sal has fallen out of favour a lot within the meta team. It can be very uncomfortable to have Sal in that front slot, because that's where you want to put Mavis typically. But is what it is. So we'll see Sal here put in, 3,000 million. Only one to survive would be Arcdina because of the Fortitude. And then hopefully the corrode damage to finish things off. No, Fortitude still active, but we'll get Hand of Tyr to finish things off. And again, it looks like Sal doing the most damage. And let's compare healing stats. So looks like no healing whatsoever. I don't think that... Oh no, the reason that there's no healing there is because we didn't lose any health. So as you can see, damage taken is 0 because of the spear into Blades of Chaos, into shield, into spear, into Blades of Chaos. We were effectively protected, so technically there was no healing done whatsoever. But that again, that's one of my favourite teams. Seraphina, Catherine, Selene, Atrops, the 4 strikers, Lachesis to remove any debuffs before Selene attacks, and Catherine then to clean up any enemies that are remaining. So we're going to go with one final team, and we're going to go with an Enchanters team here. So if we go into Enchanters, we can have a look, and we can pop in Eudora, we can pop in Masterma, Lachesis. We'll go Elysium. I don't rate this unit whatsoever in any way, shape or form, but we can also pop in Arcdina as well. So we'll put our 2 Deviant units at the front, Lachesis down here, and in fact we're going to jump out of that for 1 sec, go back to our Dawnbringer stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason that I've gone with Elryan here is it over other units, like for example Halios, like the War Queen here, Athena, is primarily because we've got 3 Avengers and we have 2 Ethereals as well. So we'll go with full Avengers relics, just so that we've got the the coherence there. We do have a full 5 Enchanters team, so let's go ahead and see how this works. Eudora here hopefully will carry the team because she will hopefully proc with all of the damage that she'll be doing. I do have her full red runes as well, so it is something to keep in mind. So as you can see, we confused 3 out of 5, which for me is a very powerful ability. If it were to last more than 1 turn, it'd be even better, but it is what it is. No confused there, unfortunately, but can be a very powerful effect. So we'll remove any shielding, we'll heal up our Master, and we do get the confused status on 3 out of 5 again, and now 4 out of 5. Elraine doing absolutely nothing whatsoever. It is what it is. And then there you go. So Master me down. And our Rain down as well. It is what it is. This team for me is not a particularly powerful team. It's not super. It's not a very good team for me personally. I mean, even with Eudora on the team, the Enchanter synergy, yeah, it's just not where it's at for me. Because it only lasts for 1 round. I mean, you can get it. Like again, we've got a 3 every time, but we are still losing. It is what it is. Get the healing effect and remove any buffs from the enemies and any debuffs from ourselves as well. Maybe potentially she can confuse almost the entire team, but just not good enough, unfortunately. We've seen in other units more coherent teams. So yeah, we'll go ahead and skip that. So for me, the best team is full Avengers using the relics that we've already got. Sal. Oh, not full Avengers, is the Strikers build here. So this team, we have 3 Celestials, 3 Royals, 4 Strikers, 2 Dawnbringers, 2 Avengers, and 1 Lightseeker in the form of Atrops as well. Not got Sal up to full Lightseeker yet, but again, that for me is the best team for Lachesis. If you want a full Avengers team that is meta relevant, the best team would be... Where have you gone? Would be this setup right here, something along these lines. This particular setup for me has done very well in the world arena, and didn't struggle altogether too much last season, and is also quite coherent with this season's synergies as well. So yeah, that for me is probably the most meta team, whereas the other team with the 4 Strikers is probably one of my favourite teams. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, if I've missed anything, please do let me know down below. If you can like the video and subscribe, it'd be really appreciated. Thanks for watching. You have a good day.